To focus in on the Comrades Marathon because there's been unprecedented interest in the event over the last couple of years, and it's forced the race organisers to increase entries for the 2020 edition. The entry cap goes up from 25,000 to 27,500 entries, making it the largest ultramarathon in South Africa. Iphupho Lami, Dare to Dream, will be the Comrades 2020 campaign slogan, which was unveiled along with a whole host of other information about next year's race in Johannesburg. Chairwoman of the Comrades Marathon Association, Cheryl Winn, joins me now. Very good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning and thank you for inviting me.
Over the last couple of years, it's been a huge thing around the Comrades Marathon. We all know it as the ultimate human race, but every year you guys have got a slogan, and this one is about dreaming. Tell us a little bit more about Iphupho Lami.
Well, it started, I think, in 1997. We had the surprise visit, 1987 actually, sorry, of President Nelson Mandela, who came and he said, oh my goodness, it slipped my mind the exact words, but he spoke about the dreams of runners and the dreams of Vic Clapham in founding the race originally. When the race was originally founded, it was to commemorate the soldiers who had fought and suffered so hard in the First World War, and he could never have imagined how great the race would have been sustained into the next century, and to grow to what it is today, the greatest, largest, oldest, most competitive, greatest, most inclusive race in South Africa. So I think it's by far exceeded anything that Vic Clapham originally dreamt.
I mean, 95 years the race has been going.
And next year we'll actually be celebrating our centenary. Although it's the 95th race, we will be celebrating not next year, in 2021, we'll be celebrating our centenary. So there's such a huge amount of interest, and our entries have been selling out rapidly over the last few years. Last year they sold out within a period of 3 weeks. So the main message that we want to get out right now, 6 days. 2 years ago it was three weeks. Last year they sold out in a period of 6 days. So the main message that we want to get out to our runners is that entries open at 8 o'clock on the Monday the 28th of October, and we want runners to be ready and get those entries in.
I mean, it's quite incredible to think 90 kilometers and
there's so many people.
Exactly, there's just so many people that want to take part in the race. But what you guys have done this year is you've actually set aside 7,000 entries for novices.
It's very important. And, if the race is now nearly 100 years old, and if we want to sustain it for another 100 years, we have to make sure that there's a constant influx of new runners coming into the race. So that's what that is aimed at, because people... Comrades becomes addictive, as you know, you've run it, and people, the original dream is to run a Comrades Marathon, and then one gets to the finish and says never again, and the next morning one already starts thinking about how you can do it differently and better. So it becomes an addiction, and people run 10 and then they want to run 20, and so we need to make sure that there's always this constant influx of new people coming in. And the other thing we've done is we've set aside 2,500 runners entries for international athletes, because if you want to claim to be the greatest, most competitive race in the world, you need to make sure that you have that international competition and the best ultramarathon athletes in the world coming out to participate.
Can the route handle so many people?
We're working on it. We will be making announcements in due course as to how we're going to handle the start going forward. But other races do it. On Sunday, I think the Berlin Marathon had 47,000 participants, and it ran smoothly. We're copying what the other great marathons around the world do, and we're studying it, and we will come up with our own solutions, and we're sure. The 2000, the Millennium Comrades Marathon, we took 25,504 entries, and I think had well over 21,000 finishers. So we'll manage. And that time we never anticipated to get so many entries, and we managed in those early days. So I'm sure now, with a lot of planning and studying what they do overseas, best practices, I'm sure we'll be able to manage it smoothly.
Any other new additions that we can expect to the race in 2020?
Well, we've put up the prize money again. It'll be 4.44 million total prize money, with 525,000 rand first prize to the first man and woman, and an equal amount for best time. We're finishing back at the Moses Mabhida Stadium for the second time. And, when you finish at a new stadium, we had actually finished it at the Kingsmead Stadium for 27 down runs in a row. So, obviously, when we moved to Moses Mabhida, it was a learning experience, and there will be a lot of improvements as well as how we handle the runners at the finish there.
Obviously, that was the key takeaway from the first time that it finished at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, what the feedback from the runners was.
Oh, it was really positive, but there were things, there were glitches. There's always glitches. In a race of such a magnitude, where it's not like staging something inside a stadium where you've got set boundaries and, sort of 30 players on the field or whatever. With so many runners, with so many volunteers, 6,000 people, things go wrong. Lots of things go wrong on the day, but it's managing them as they go along, and that's the name of the game.
It's quite incredible to think that the Comrades Marathon, from the time that it began, really has been setting the standard for ultra-marathon running. And back in the day, it wasn't even something that people were really that excited about, and it's just seen a massive explosion. Thank you very much. All the best of luck for the preparation for the 2020 race. So 28th of October, that's when entries open at 8 o'clock.
And they will close on the 30th of November, or when we reach the entries cap of 27,500.
All right, thank you very much. That's Cheryl Winn, Chairwoman of the Comrades Marathon Association, putting together the ultimate human race. We'll bring you your trivia answers in the next hour. A recap of the question. The MTN 8th final will take place this Saturday, 6 p.m. at the